So what do you do when you're in the middle of a trick and some jerk starts heckling you or starts yelling out the secret to your trick or trying to expose the trick? I mean, what do you do? I mean, we got to do something. Otherwise, we're going to look like complete idiots, right? Well, my name's Marco, and I'm actually a professional magician. I'm also the founder of OnlineMagicSchool.com. I help people all over the world learn how to perform magic without getting busted. Now, this video. I'm going to share with you 7 things you can do to help you in those situations when you get, heckled by some jerk in the audience. The actual subject that I'm discussing today was inspired by somebody who posted a question on my contest page at OnlineMagicSchool.com. And if you post me a question there and I read your question on air in an upcoming video, I'll send you a free deck of cards. So this week's winner goes out to this young lady. Be sure to send me your address after this, where you want me to send your free deck of cards, so I can get this out to you as soon as possible. Here it is. Hi, Marco. I'm Siobhan. I'm 12 years old, and I've been doing magic for about 2 years, and I live in the northwest of England. My question is, what to do when a heckler starts really spoiling your trick? Like when I did the ambitious card routine. Once a heckler shouted out, "It's 2 cards!" Okay, right there. I'm not going to read the rest of the comment here. 1 second. It's two. When they yelled out, "It's 2 cards," I would have immediately said this. That's what I said. Okay? When they yell out the secret to your trick, even if they're wrong, you immediately respond with say, "That's what I said." This is a great line because what it does is it stuns them, the heckler, and it confuses them because they're like, "What?" It doesn't really make sense. That's what I said. And you're agreeing with them. So it catches them off guard because they're expecting you to, fight them, but you're agreeing with them. And it just, for some reason, it just takes all the air out of their sail. And, they just kind of like, they don't know what to say after that. And then you can move on. So that's a great line. You also write here, he shouted out, "It's 2 cards," and pulled the cards out of my hands. Thanks. All right, Siobhan. So that's the first thing you can do. Number 2, have a method on hand that you can perform the trick that doesn't utilize that method. I mean, know multiple methods. If he would have done that to me, I would have just done the trick again without doing the 2 card method, just to disprove them. And I would have done it in kind of like a non-aggressive way, but just to show them. So it's good if you can have multiple methods to perform your trick and just be ready, for those situations. Number 3, this is important, and this is a preventative thing. I wouldn't open up if I'm kind of new to magic. I've only been doing it for a few years. The ambitious card. That's there's some advanced secret maneuvers involved with that. So I wouldn't necessarily open up with that trick. What I like to do, even today, when I go to a paid gig, and I do paid gigs every week out of the year. So even on these gigs, the first thing I do is I go into a situation. I don't just start doing magic that's using hardcore sleight of hand. It's tempting, but I try not to do it because what you want to do is you want to test the waters. You want to see, what is my audience going to be like? When you start performing magic, you may not know who you're in store. I mean, this room could be filled with like people who know a lot about magic, or maybe it's filled with tons of jerks or people who just hate magic, and they just are going to be watching you like a hawk, and you need to know that at first. You need to test the waters and start performing some magic that doesn't require any sleight of hand or doesn't use gaffes or gimmicks, and just see how it goes. And then once you get a feel for who your audience is, then you can try the riskier stuff that involves secret moves, secret devices, that sort of thing. I was doing a gig a few weeks ago, and I'm performing, and all of a sudden this lady just grabs both of my arms, and she's running her hands down my arms. I'm like, "Excuse me, what are you doing, ma'am? I mean, isn't this assault?" And I mean, she was kind of aggressive, and she's like, "Well, I'm checking your arms to make sure you don't have anything up your sleeves." And I was like, and so for the rest of the night, I'm like, okay, I got to watch out for this lady because she's like, she is just dying to bust me. So when I was around her, I was just real careful, to do stuff that was just completely impossible to figure out. So don't come out of the gates doing hardcore sleight of hand. Um, all right, so number 4, ask them, look, obviously, sir, you don't like magic. That's cool, but look, don't ruin it for everybody else. We're just trying to have fun. I use that line a lot. It's a great line. Number 5, ignore them. Just ignore them. I did a show a couple weeks ago, and I was on stage, and a lady reaches up and grabs something out of my hands that I was performing with. Um, and I was kind of done with the trick, but not completely. There's one little phase left, and I just like, I'm not going to go out in the audience and fight her for it. I just like ignored her, and she looked like a complete idiot. She got a lot of grief after my show from just other people in the audience. So so just ignore them. Number 6, walk away. Sometimes I'm in a group, I'm doing magic, and there's some jerk, in a group, and I'm just like, you know what? I'm getting paid to do this gig. I don't get paid to get, for people to give me a hard time. Is what I'm thinking to myself. So I'll say something like, "Look, sir, obviously you don't like magic, or, I don't know if your group doesn't like magic, but you don't. This is not compulsory. You don't have to. Um, I'll just go to another group and perform over there, and I'll just walk away and I'll go perform for another group. And when that happens, I'll go to that next group and I will just blow their minds. And I'll make them go crazy, scream, yell, have a great time. And then that first group's going to be like, man, we really screwed up. I mean, that guy's like really killing them over there. They're having a great time. And usually his friends are usually like, gosh, man, why were you such a jerk to a magician? Now, and oftentimes they'll come over and say, hey, man, sorry, can you come back over here and show us something? He was just joking. He's kind of like that with everybody. So don't be afraid to walk away. Don't take people's crap, I don't want you taking crap from anyone, all right? And number 7, and this is really cool, maybe the most important thing, hecklers are awesome because when we get heckled, it's a motivation for me and you to go home and work on our magic and make the magic more bulletproof, more impossible to figure out. Perfect it and really make it a perfect mystery. So those are my 7 points. I hope those have been helpful, Siobhan, and anybody else who's been in this situation. Again, heckling is just part of the business. I get heckled all the time still. If you learned anything today, be sure to thumbs up this video, subscribe, and if you have a question or you're struggling with something, be sure to go to Online Magic School. Go to onlinemagicschool.com, enter your email. I'll send you a free ebook that teaches you the card trick I did that blew away 2.4 million YouTube viewers. It's a really great trick. It doesn't actually use any sleight of hand, which is kind of cool because that's kind of what we're talking about here. When it comes to hecklers, it's great on hecklers. They won't be able to figure it out. You get that, and you can actually go get to my contest page from there, and you can post me a question, anything you have. And if I didn't read your question this week, don't worry, because there's a bunch of winners coming up. You guys posted a lot of great questions, and I may be in the next video. It may be your question, so continue to post me those questions, and continue to stay tuned, because if I read your name off and your question, I'm going to send you a free deck of cards. Thanks again for watching. Please thumbs up and subscribe, and I'll see you soon.